You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Welcome back to the desk. We're rapidly approaching the end of the NHL season, and here to break it all down is Jess Carfello, Baylee Matthews, Chase Haffner, and the man Tyler Cooper. Guys, the trade deadline is well in the rearview mirror, and we've now had the chance to see how these teams and players have adjusted to their new surroundings. Tyler, we'll start with you. Who do you think has been the best acquisition from the deadline?
Yeah, the best acquisition for me from the deadline's got to be Sean Monahan. Now with the Winnipeg Jets, he has been great since he came over there. He's got 11 goals, 21 points, and 10 assists in 29 games. He's just been a consistent point producer for the Winnipeg Jets, and he's just, continuing to be solid offensively for the Jets.
You mean for your Winnipeg Jets, as we just
randomly
found out he's a Winnipeg Jets fan?
Yeah, because I'm talking about
big guy.
one and only.
Yeah. Baylee, we'll move on to you. Who do you think has been the best acquisition?
I think it's been Ben Myers. He was picked in the 5th round for the Ducks from the Avalanche, which is honestly a steal for the Ducks. He went to the Olympics in 2022 where he scored 2 goals and 2 assists. In 2023, he was in 6 Stanley Cup playoff contests with the Avalanche, but then this season, he's only been in 9 games and only scored 1 goal. He's played with the Ducks head coach before, Deg Cronin, and he got 24 points in 30 games with him. And, after the college career he had in Minnesota, it's such a shame to see him go underutilized on such a major team. I think the Ducks are really going to give him the chance to find where he fits in the NHL.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Jess?
I got to give it to Casey Middlestat. The Avs going with a smart trade. He's got 4 goals and 5 assists and a 16.7 shot percentage so far. The Avs needed a second-line center, and he's been producing so far. And there's plenty of time for him to really grow into the center they really need him to be. But he's really helped them out, helped them a lot, especially on that offense. They definitely helped them out a lot.
Absolutely. Chase, I almost called you Jess.
Oh, no, not again. No.
It's Chase, Jess.
No, so I was going to talk about Adam Henrique, but we're not doing that again. So I actually am going to pick Jake Gonzalez. He went from Pittsburgh to Carolina, and in 15 games, he's already scored 22 points.
Oh, wow.
That's absolutely amazing. I think that he's going to be a great addition. Maybe he's the last little push that they need.
Absolutely. But, with the season wrapping up, it's time to open up the trophy cases and start talking about who's going to be going home with some new hardware. And we'll start with the big one. Baylee, who do you think is winning MVP and taking home the Hart?
Okay, don't hate me. I think Connor McDavid is taking it again. Look, there are other amazing prospects, but McDavid is still in the running for good reason. He ranked 7th in scoring in January. Since then, there have been 28 games where he's scored 59 points. How could we overlook a player with almost 100 assists? I know that it's a shame to see him take it home again. The Oilers are a great team otherwise, but we got to be real. McDavid is their claim to fame. Even if there are other good prospects, he's already a favorite.
Yeah, Connor McDavid's someone who I'm always hearing about, always on the front pages of everything hockey. But Jess, we'll move on to you. Who do you think wins MVP?
I think because McDavid's been the favorite 3-4 years running at this point, we got to look elsewhere.
So voter fatigue.
It's voter fatigue, and it's also overlooking a huge player, in my opinion, Nathan MacKinnon, who's been leading the charge for the Avalanche this entire season. He's had well over 50 goals, 86 assists. It's nowhere, still pretty close to up there with McDavid, but he's had a 32-game point streak at home. Having your fans come there knowing and expecting each time they show up to get a goal to help lead the charge and to help bring them to that next level, I think goes to show you how much he deserves to be MVP. And if you think Nathan MacKinnon is not in the talks, you're crazy.
Look, he's definitely got a case for it. Move on to you, Chase.
All right, I'm actually going to go with David Pastrnak. So Boston had a tough time. A lot of their players just went and retired. But Pastrnak has been able to keep them in first place. He's got 47 goals already. He's tied for 5th in goals this season. I think that would be a shame to overlook him as well. And again, we need to bring it from someone other than Connor McDavid.
Well, there's a reason he's in the running.
I know he's in the running for a reason. Doesn't mean we got to switch it up a little bit. Switch it up.
I hear you. But Tyler, who do you think wins it?
I think that Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs will take this the MVP home because he's got 63 goals in 74 games, and that's very impressive. That is unbelievable. I don't know who else would do that, and no one else is doing that in the league. So he's been very, very good for
Absolutely.
the Maple Leafs.
But before we talk about the trophy everyone's clamoring for, we'll talk about the trophy that, some teams that have had some hype at the start of the season, but ultimately didn't live up to the expectations. We'll start with you, Jess. Who do you think is a team that had the hype, didn't live up to it?
Now, before I give you my answer, there's a man I need to address here on the desk.
Yeah.
Chase,
What?
when I wrote this question, 2 teams came to mind.
I'm addressing mine later, don't worry.
And unfortunately, I had to give that to you. So this is personally for me now, you could say that this wasn't really a disappointing team because there wasn't much going for them to begin with. However, I disagree. Hey, the Chicago Blackhawks, they got rid of Kane, they got Bedard, or they had 2.18 goals per game. And all honesty, that's just disappointing. With a team that they could have brought together, at the deadline, they could have made a move for someone to help increase production, help bring Chicago up to a better level, but it just didn't happen, and that's why I think they're really disappointing.
Yeah, but he's still such a young player, and that Blackhawks team is going to be building around him for the future for sure.
I
But
hope
Chase, I mean,
It's that time.
Man, just-
I knew it was going to come up. I knew as soon as Jess was like, oh, we're going on this week, I'm like, it's going to come up. But yeah, so I'm going to have to go with the New Jersey Devils on this one. Unfortunately. After last season, I was so hyped. We got into the playoffs finally. We did really well. We took out the Rangers, which is still very fun. But no, now we're already mathematically out. And I just think that they need to work on defense, really. Defense and passing, and then hopefully next year we can still kick the Rangers' butt again.
I mean, it probably will.
How far did hope get you?
Hey,
It's mathematically eliminated.
but Tyler, we'll move on to you.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be the Ottawa Senators. They came into the season, expected to be good because they signed the free agent Jonas Korpisalo, which is, a top guy in saves throughout the league, and he has just not been that great this season, and the overall record is 35-40 and 4 on the season, which is under 500, obviously, so they're really not looking great right now.
Yeah, big disappointment there, but Baylee, we'll close it out with you for this question.
I think it's got to be the Calgary Flames. Last season, they fell 3 points short of making it to the playoffs, and it seemed like there was a lot of hope for them to at least maintain their strength, if not get better. And then they've had some bad trades, a really disappointing performance from Huberdeau, and they failed to meet any of their goals for this season. If the Flames want to come back, they've got to focus on their younger players and their draft picks. And, they have potential on paper, but they really have to put in the work.
Absolutely. But we'll close it out. The race for Lord Stanley's Cup officially starts in a week, and this year's competition looks as fierce as it's ever been. So we'll start with you, Chase. Who do you think goes to the Stanley Cup, and who do you think wins it?
I think that this year it's going to be the Canucks versus the Rangers. I want to see that rematch, and also I just kind of want to see it go to a Canadian team this year. They haven't won one since, 93?
Yeah.
So yeah, also,
Not gonna happen.
you know who they're getting led by? Quinn Hughes. So if we can't have Jack Hughes win it, I'll take a different Hughes brother. Devils are still going to win in our own way.
Oh, my God.
Tyler, we'll move on to you. Who do you think makes the Stanley Cup and then wins it?
Yeah, I say the Hurricanes are making it, and they're going to play the Oilers for the Stanley Cup, and I think the Hurricanes will take this year's Stanley Cup because the Hurricanes, they're very, very good. They're at the top of the league. They're in the top of the conference, and I think they're going to outlast the Oilers if they play them in the Stanley Cup.
That could be a fun matchup to watch. Jess?
And I mean, who else do you think I'm going to pick? Hey, I have the New York Rangers winning the Stanley Cup going up against the Avalanche. I mean, come on. Panarin's having the season of a lifetime. The team is producing. They've been behind him the whole season. Trocheck, Lafreniere. Lafreniere's finally growing into the player he needs to be. They just need to stay healthy, get past this first round. Laviette's running them in the right direction. So I think they're going to win it all.
Yeah, of course you go with the Rangers. I mean,
Too bad we can't stay here to see them lose.
But Baylee, close us out for this one.
I think it's going to end up being the Stars and the Hurricanes. As much as I would love to pull a Jess or a Chase and be like, my favorite team is going all the way, Predators, even after we've gotten a playoff spot, it's not realistic. I agree with Tyler that the Hurricanes make a great candidate for going all the way, but I think they really need to worry about the Dallas Stars. Even when the rankings moved in the Eastern Conference, the Stars were ranked 3rd for a little bit. It did not faze them at all. If anything, it made them more motivated, and not every team can rally like they did. In my opinion, the Stars have gone a little overlooked regardless of their ranking, but they're the team to be scared of right now. Plus, in both regular seasons, like with the matchups between these two, the Stars won.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm looking forward to getting to there, but That's all the ice time Coach Al is willing to give us. Stick around as we've got the Silver Sluggers with the MLB next here on Sports Desk.